Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. World War II began 83 years ago. According to tradition, the morning anniversary commemoration on the Westerplatte began with the sound of the alarm sirens just before 4:45 a.m. because at this time, on the 1st of September 1939, the German attack on the Polish military transport depot took place. At the same time, today there were commemorations in Wilon, the first Polish city to be bombed on the 1st of September.
Znajdujemy się dosłownie kilka kilometrów od...
We are located only a few kilometers from the military transit depot, Westerplatte, which was heroically defended by a garrison of the Polish army in 1939. It was there where state ceremonies were held to commemorate the 83rd anniversary of the outbreak of World War II.
Trzecią rocznicę wybuchu II wojny światowej. Prezydent Andrzej Duda w swoim przemówieniu...
In his speech, President Andrzej Duda noted that the gathering here year after year is not only significant as a reminder of those terrible events of September 1st and consequently World War II, but also a warning to countries and nations of what extreme ideologies can lead to.
...prowadzić skrajne ideologie.
Czołgi, artyleria i samoloty
Tanks,
brutalnie
artillery, and
burzące
aircraft
budynki, w których
demolishing
mieszkają
buildings
zwykli
housing
ludzie.
ordinary people, civilian citizens of a sovereign state, murdered in
Cywilni
basements and in the
obywatele
streets,
suwerennego
including
państwa
shots to the back of
mordowani
the
w
head.
piwnicach
After
i na
all, we know all
ulicach.
of this from 80
Także
years ago,
strzałem
and
w
we
tył
are looking
głowy.
at it again. This
Przecież
must be
znamy to
stopped. We
wszystko sprzed
Poles know and
80
understand
lat.
this very well. As
I
our late
patrzymy na to
president Lech
znowu.
Kaczyński, who
To
died in
musi
Russia, said,
zostać
one must not
zatrzymane.
retreat from
My
imperialism.
Polacy wiemy i
Imperialism must
rozumiemy
not
to
be feared.
doskonale.
Imperialism and
Jak
also new
mówił
imperialist governments must be
nasz
resolutely
prezydent Lech
opposed.
Kaczyński, który w Rosji zginął.
Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki recalled the population losses Poland suffered as a result of the Polish aggression and reminded that behind every person there was a personal tragedy.
Osobista tragedia.
Polska straciła kilkanaście milionów ludzi,
Poland
w
lost
tym
several
ponad
million
5
people,
milionów
including more than 5
zabitych,
million killed,
zamordowanych.
murdered. Some remained outside
Część
the country
pozostała
forever.
poza
In
granicami kraju
1938, Poland's
na zawsze.
population was estimated at more than 35 million
W
people.
1938
The first
roku
census, the census
liczbę
taken
ludności
after the war in
Polski
1946,
szacuje się na
is
ponad
less than
35
24 million
milionów
people. Let's
ludzi.
think, when we talk to others
Pierwszy
about
spis
World War
ludności,
II, about the
spis
fate of all
powszechny,
those who died, about
wykonany
the
po
fate of
wojnie w
those boys and girls.
1946 roku, to poniżej 24 milionów ludzi.
Organizatorem tegorocznych obchodów...
This year's commemoration of the 83rd anniversary of the outbreak of World War II was organized by the Ministry of Defense.
Telewizja Republika.
Despite heavy shelling in the area, the International Atomic Energy Agency mission set off today from Zaporizhia to Enerhoda and, according to the latest reports, arrived at the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant controlled by Russian forces. Rafael Grossi, who is at the helm of the mission, emphasized the continuation of his plan. About 500 Russian soldiers and employees of the Russian Rosatom concern are stationed on the site of the power plant. From the early hours of the morning, the city of Enerhoda, where the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is located, has been under shell fire. In such conditions, the mission of the International Atomic Energy Agency began. After undergoing detailed checks by Russian soldiers, the IAEA team were admitted to the plant in the afternoon.
We are aware of the current situation. There has been increased military activity, including this morning. Until very recently, a few minutes ago, I have been briefed by the Ukrainian regional military commander here about that and the inherent risks. But weighing the pros and cons, and having come so far, we are not stopping. We are moving now. We know that there is an area, as you know, the so-called gray zone, where the last line of the Ukrainian defense comes, and before the first line of the Russian occupying forces begin, where the risks are significant. At the same time, we consider that we have the minimum conditions to move.
According to reports by independent experts, the workers of the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant are subjected to torture. Tell me how they torture people here. There is a separate cell for women, a cell 3 meters by 4 meters with a toilet for up to 16 people. Various tortures are used against the victims. They are electrocuted. Women are raped. Everything is recorded. It is a violation of human rights. No human deserves it. Now, during the war, each of us has difficulty concentrating. We are constantly under stress. We do not sleep at night. If a person works in such a difficult profession, their mental and physical condition is crucial. This has a significant impact on the safety of the power plant. Today, in Ukraine, as well as in many places around the world, the school year has begun. However, learning will be different from before. In places where there is a threat from the hostilities, lessons will be conducted remotely.
Дорогі друзі,
This year's beginning of September is very different from all the previous ones, but it also combines all the previous ones. Previous years, centuries, battles that used to be fought and are now, and victories, and especially victory that is sure to come. Today is the 198th Day of Knowledge, which in a way sums up 1,000 years of Ukrainian history, culture and life. Life, despite all the adversities. And this issue will dominate the new school year.
перемог, які вислизали з рук нашого народу.
The Ukrainian Post issued a charity stamp with an image of the famous sapper dog, Patron. The income from the sale will be allocated to the purchase of specialised demining equipment. Lech Wałęsa, the former Polish president who played a leading role in the fall of communism in his country, said today that the last Soviet leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, was under duress to end communism. Lauded in the West as the man who helped bring down the Berlin Wall and end the Cold War without bloodshed, Gorbachev was widely despised at home as the gravedigger of the communist Soviet Union. Wałęsa, a former Solidarity trade union leader and a Nobel Peace Prize winner, said Gorbachev's role was positive, but he had doubts as to his motives. Of course, we should judge him positively. He played a good role, but he was under duress. It was not that he was willing to do it, that he wanted to do it, but he was forced by the situation. Communism was falling apart. There were more and more troubles with that, and he was looking for a way to save communism. And to be honest, I'm not sure if he didn't cheat on us in the end, because he knew that the USSR could be saved, but he also knew that Russia should be held accountable for communism. That's why he set himself up as a positive man, as a nice, decent Democrat. The world said, well, we should keep Russia accountable. We had Stalin, we have Brezhnev, but Gorbachev is quite a decent guy, so let's leave him alone.
Wiedział, że należałoby rozliczyć za ten cały komunizm. Także do końca.
So I didn't understand him till the very end. I liked him very much. He was a nice guy. But we did not reach an understanding as he believed in reconstruction of communism, and I didn't.
Bo on wierzył w remont, a ja nie wierzyłem.
The former Soviet president, who died on the 30th of August, aged 91, set out to revitalize the sclerotic communist system through democratic and economic reform. It was not his intention to abolish it.
Na początku.
At the beginning, I was trying to figure out if he was against communism or if he naively believed that communism could be reconstructed. So I asked him different questions directly. Did you betray communism? He said no. Then the second question, you are a very intelligent man. Do you believe it is possible to reconstruct communism? And then he got offended and we didn't speak for half an hour.
Mówi nie.
After decades of Cold War tension and confrontation, Gorbachev struck nuclear arms deals with the United States and brought the Soviet Union closer to the West than at any point since World War II. Gorbachev's funeral will take place this Saturday, September the 3rd, Russian news agencies reported, citing Gorbachev's daughter and a spokesperson for his foundation. It will be held in the famous Hall of Columns inside Moscow's House of Unions, agencies reported, the same place where Joseph Stalin's body was put on display following his death in 1953. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.